So, today we're not talking about a manga or a comic. Wow, who is she? She reads actual books. Hello, beautiful bookworms! My name is Katerina and welcome to my channel. And today, we are going to be doing a video that I never thought I was going to be doing because I never thought I was going to be reading this. Not in a million years. And first of all, I'm not shaming anyone for reading this. I read it. I like it. I'm going to keep reading it. But I never really did thought that I was going to read this until I decided to throw myself and just go with the hype. And I'm glad that I did. So today's video is going to be something that probably all of you guys have already seen all around the internet, and I am late as I am to everything, but hopefully you will still like my perspective. It's going to be sort of a review, sort of an opinion, since pretty much everyone, their mothers, their aunts, their sisters, their brothers, everyone has already read this, but it's going to be sort of my opinion on A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I have started Throne of Glass. I read the first two of Throne of Glass, really enjoyed it. Then I stopped for some ungodly reason, and I decided I was going to start A Court of Thorns and Roses, because welcome to something completely different. And I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. So, historically, we all know that Throne of Glass does not have, or at least the two books that I've read, does not have as much smut as A Court of Thorns and Roses, but, or so I thought, and so I decided to read this one to just know what everyone was talking about, and since ACOTAR 6 and 7 are coming out, I decided, okay, let's just go. Let's just see what everyone is talking about. Let's just see what I think about this. And everyone was like, so, this is the baddest of all of them, and your peak is gonna come on A Court of Mist and Fury, or whatever it is called. Yada yada, you're not going to like this, but you have to endure. First of all, why will I not like this? I mean, granted, okay, here we go. There's going to be spoilers for some stuff, maybe. I'm going to try not to, but, maybe you guys don't care. Maybe I don't care. At this point, I don't even know. So just bear with me. Let's go. So, I read this thinking I might enjoy this because all of you guys know here I'm trashy. And this is not as trashy as it kind of looks. It's actually a nice developed fantasy to a point. It's not an epic fantasy. It's not world building engaging fantasy as I'm normally used to, but it is a well constructed fantasy. It is a fantasy that has some world building, it has some history between races and characters, it has some different races that we are usually used to. Fairies or fae are not exactly the same thing that they are in other books or in other fantasy books that they actually are here. I would say they're like a crossing, or the high fae in here, because they're not as typical as other fairies. I would say they're a crossing between elves and fairies. And they're actually pretty cool as things go. There's a lot of mythos, maybe not the most developed part of it, but I only read the first book, so, And there's humans. And our main character, Feyre, is not as non-excited as people sold her to me on the first book. I liked her. I liked her story. I liked how she has a bit of trauma. I liked what she has to go through. I liked how she learned about the fairy world. I liked who she was before, and I liked who she learned to be during this book. I liked her sisters. Sure, they seem like deluded motherfuckers. However, I can see that there is something going on behind the whole they don't provide and I'm the whole sole provider. I mean, Nesta has a deep hatred for their father, so something went on in there. And the other sister, I don't remember her name, but I don't know if she's just deluded or just really a dreamer or whatever, or she just likes her roses. But yeah, I like them. I like them all. I liked Feyre. I think she was, for a normal, blendish at the beginning, typical main character, I think that she had several qualities, several defects, and she was developed. One of the things that I don't understand, but I think everyone is telling me that I'm going to understand the next book. One of the things that I don't understand is why everyone hates Tamlin so much. He kind of looks like a traumatized motherfucker. And this might be my psychology major talking. Or my psychology degree, actually, because there's no more major, it's just a degree. It's actually a PhD, whatever. But he's just like, his kingdom is cursed. He cannot save his people. Well, everyone has their kingdom cursed, so everyone acts like traumatized motherfuckers. Rysand, or Rysand, or whatever you're supposed to call him, also acts like a traumatized motherfucker. He has a severe complex as well. Obviously, we are supposed to not like him at the beginning, and then you see that he's always helping her in her tasks. Fair enough. I mean, I did not like his presentation to her and during the tasks, but I guess he had to lie because he was protecting the Night Court and his friends and his family and whatever. And he also wanted to protect her, so whatever, I guess, but I did not really like his style. People say I'm going to love him in the second book, we will see. I don't get why people are turning against Tamlin, but I haven't read the second book. Because, people say that he is an abuser. I mean, I can see it. He supposedly went to get her and was searching for someone like her because his kingdom was cursed, and he knew the only person that could break the spell was supposed to be a human that hated fairies. So he basically sacrificed his own people to grab a human that hated fairies and then kind of seduce her and, save his people and himself. Was that wrong? Yeah, but he had to save his people and he had to save himself. And when push come to shove, he kind of told her just like, I can't do this to you, go to your family and go fuck off. And kind of saved her, and she decided to come back. So, how is that? I don't know. I don't know. I can't judge. I haven't read the entirety of the books, but I see someone worried about her. Maybe he developed a crush. Maybe he developed real love. Maybe he developed some trauma and he's just connected to her in some way, shape, or form that he cannot explain. People build relationships through trauma. It doesn't have to be real love. It doesn't have to be fake love. It doesn't have to be love at all. It's a relationship built through trauma. If it is healthy, it could become so, or it could become unhealthy as fuck. It is true. As I said and stated, I haven't read the second book, or the third, or any of the books after this, so I am not the person to judge this relationship, but at the first view of the first book, I am not entirely sure that we should be judging Tamlin just yet. Probably this might change or not. We will see my opinion on this. But I think that something that we do as human beings is hastily judging someone just because we find our ships in characters that we like more. And if the characters are well developed, which I've heard some people say that the characters in Sarah J. Maas's books are generic, something that I've been questioning a bit. I mean, if as of right now they are some of my favorite characters I've ever read, debatable. But I've also just started 2 of her biggest series, so I cannot answer that with honesty. But I think I shall give them a try and see if I fall in love with these characters and if they present some type of development that I can actually judge them on it. If they do, we have to see characters with development as complex characters. And if they are complex, they will do mistakes. They will do something that are not incredibly nice sometimes. Me, you, everyone, we've made mistakes. I'm not talking about abuse as a mistake. I find that negative, obviously. That's why we have courts, and that's why abuse is obviously trialed. And domestic violence and other stuff. So I'm not pleading for abusive Tamlin. What I'm saying is, if that actually happens, I can understand your guys' opinions. If that just comes from not knowing how to have a relationship with someone, then maybe let's see how the character develops first. Because, yeah, I can see some stuff here like, go to your room, don't come out, do what I say. Also the fact that he's like an inhumane beast when he wants to. Literally, and not metaphorically. That's kind of creepy, that's kind of dangerous. However, those go to your room scenes and you can't do this and you can't do that, it's because she's human and there are dangers lurking. And let's face it, she's the best archer in this fucking world. She's not a fairy. Not until the end of the book. So she doesn't have like superpowers, which means she can get hurt and she can get murdered. And yes, you can say that won't serve Tamlin's purposes, and it's not because he's concerned about her health, but kind of maybe just a little bit. It could be. So it might not be as abusive as you think, and it might be because people are actually concerned. For instance, sometimes I tell my mother, which is my actual mother and older than me and supposedly knows better than me in most of the cases of adult life, Mom, don't do that. And she tells me I am not a child. And I tell her, well, I think in this case, I'm worried about you. I don't think that's an abusive behavior. Granted, I use my words to talk and explain stuff, and Tamlin is not a big fan of, I'm going to explain to you the context of shit. But remember that was a curse and he couldn't explain stuff to her. And Feyre even says that they try to explain as much as possible to her with the curse going on. The fact that she sacrifices herself for everyone in the court and for him, knowing him, like, for some months, that's debatable on how in love she could be and how she thought he was the love of her life. That's debatable. I'm 30 years old now, and what would seem like a love sacrifice and such a beautiful thing when I was in my teens now just looks like, oh my god, why we are doing this. But I mean, it was sort of like a love story, Beauty and the Beast retelling, so I guess we had to do something grand and big in here. And I mean, let's try and believe in the power of true love, and bitch got lucky because she sacrificed herself and she got as a high fae. But she did die, which tends to cause PTSD, so if she will be developed probably well, and I'm laughing, but this is no fucking joke, please, people, Do not throw yourselves and die because of other people. Think about your own value first. Obviously, it's kind of different. I mean, I'm not preaching here. Just think about your value before you throw yourselves in front of something for someone else. Okay? Just putting it out there. Your life has meaning too. Okay? Even though some people think it doesn't. It does. It has. Okay? Human beings are important. Okay? But anyways, apart from that, she did a lot of things that tends to give trauma to people. Some choices, some shit. So, I'm expecting that if she's well developed in A Court of Mist and Fury, she's going to have loads of PTSD. I'm also expecting that Tamlin, since he has convinced himself, or maybe he really is in love with her, he's not going to be very well from his mind as well. So, I'm hoping to read that and see how they end up and how they are in terms of their relationship, and how I'm guessing that if he's already as protective of her as he is in this book, he's probably going to still be protective of her because she fucking died. So he's not going to want that to repeat, even though she's now a high fae. Is that abusive? It's not. You know? We will see how this fits. Still, in having read this, and I will apologize to everyone that wants me to apologize, but I'm not trying to burst your bubble or anything. Having read this, I liked it, even though, yes, it's not the best written thing from here to the other universe, but I liked it. I want to continue with the series. I cannot understand the hate. I can understand not enjoying. But I cannot understand the hate that Tamlin gets. So, that's one of the main forces behind me wanting to continue the series. Also, wanting to get to know Rysand. Somebody tell me how the fuck you're supposed to say this person's name, because I have no idea. English is not my maternal language. So please teach me. I also want to know that dude better because he's the main competitor, so how does my first viewing of him, which was like, dude, what the fuck? And then went to, okay, dude, you're somewhat fine, whatever, but you should apologize. How will that progress into, oh my god, I love you, which is how everyone treats this person, so I want to check it out. I'm also thinking that Fair's sister, the one who is obsessed with gardens and flowers and likes to stay in the same place in the same time, would be very nice for Tamlin. Because Tamlin is the king of Spring Court, and he likes flowers and shit, and telling people to stay in the same place while he goes and does something else, and he doesn't want to see people get in danger, so you shouldn't probably want to be with a warrior. That's just my shit. That's just my 2 cents. But obviously, I haven't read anything else, so I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but the perspective of someone that hasn't read any of the other books, with the exception of the 2 first of Throne of Glass, which I don't think have crossed with A Court of Thorns and Roses yet. I think it's more to the front. I have no idea what I'm just saying, but, you know, flowers. One likes to stay at home, one likes the other people to stay at home. It'll be perfect. I don't know, but I approve. So that's my 2 cents on A Court of Thorns and Roses. Blah. This is, I liked it, didn't love it, liked it. Kind of like one of those things that you read or watch when you don't want nothing extremely serious, but you want something very compelling that makes you have feelings, but you can like just watch/read and move on, and it's like you can eat something while you're reading, and you know, it's like a snack. This is like a snack for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure it's going to become my favorite series, but it was enjoyable, and more than enjoyable. Enjoyable? What? Okay, when I'm starting to lose how to speak, it's because the time of the video is over. It was enjoyable, and I'm going to continue with this. I actually got the entirety of this series, and I have the entirety of Throne of Glass, so maybe you'll see more of these videos from me, if you guys want. But yeah, these are my 2 cents on A Court of Thorns and Roses. Also, in the way that female villains go, Amarantha was fucking cool. Fucking cool, not in a way of I want to be like you, because she was a torturer and a murderer and a horrible fucking person. But she was a horrible fucking person. And if we just want a really bad, non-redeemable villain, there she is, there she goes. And I missed a really horrible, non-redeemable villain. I mean, she does have a supposed motive for doing that, but I mean, do we really believe she's just so cruel because her sister was betrayed by humans? I don't think so. I think that counts a lot. I think that she is fucked up because of that. But I also think she's just really cruel, really evil, and she doesn't like people. In general, humans, fae, high fae, people, you know? So, that was fun. That was fun. I'm sad that I'm not sad that she's gone. I mean, good riddance. But I'm sad we don't have more of that villainy. I hope we have more good villains or more good bad things, if you know what I mean. But, yeah. That's my 2 cents on A Court of Thorns and Roses. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, leave a like or subscribe, and tell me down below if you would like to see these videos from me, if you've read these series, you probably have, or not, and what do you think about them? So that's going to be all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye!